Hello, my Flat Rock friends. I want to talk today about a new area of the library for us to find books in. I think you're really going to love this section. So let's dive in and see what is in the 500s. Obviously, this is our library, and we're going to be moving back to that back wall today to find this area. So, right back here towards the back wall, this back area here, this is what we're looking at. It's not all the way at the back wall where our ebooks are, but it is past this orange quilt where down here all of our graphic novels are. We're looking at this section here, the 500s. Here it is a little bit more closely, and you can see it goes all the way down in the back and all the way up here. This area is what we're looking at. And this area is our 500s. There's a sign here at the edge on the left side showing us what's there. And here our sign says science, and it lists all kinds of science fields. It's actually got some math books too. So math and science. How many of you like math books? Okay, how many of you like science books? I bet there's more of you. Well, let's look at all the different kinds of books, especially science books, which is the majority of this section. So we start off here with just some general fun science experiments and books like that here. And down below it is space. And this whole section, the 500s, is probably the best marked section in our library as far as these signs telling you what's in each area. So you can see here that we have space down here below, all of our space books. So for example, some of those books on top, just your general science, some science experiments, Guinness World Records, and fun books like that are up there. And then we have some books about space. Now, this is just a sample. We have tons of books, all the planets, space, universe, galaxies, moons, stars, everything is in this section. Well, moving right down past it, you see the math section. And remember, I said the 500s was math and science, but you can see there's not nearly as many math books. That's all of the math books. Everything else is science. And down below that is rocks and minerals. And we've got all kinds of books about rocks and minerals, how our earth is formed, the geography and geology of it, as well as different types of rocks. If you're interested in that, there's books that identify rocks. They're all here in this section. And then moving down past that, we have weather and dinosaurs. Now, I know you love the dinosaur section. Weather, too, is pretty interesting. And just a sample of some of the books we have here, we can learn about tsunamis and floods. Also things like oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, hurricanes, tornadoes, lightning, and thunder. All of that is here in the weather section. We have a pretty large section of books there. Now we're moving to the back wall. And the back wall has got habitats, facts about books, fastest animals, slowest animals, crazy things that you never knew about animals. It's going to be back here in this section. And here's some with habitats. We have grasslands and deserts and the rainforest and the food web and the cycle of life. All of those things are back here in this section on the back wall. Beside it are more books with facts and information. You can see there's animal heroes and some other cool books, but animal behavior, adaptations, the stinkiest animals, the fastest animals, the heroes, the ones that are less famous, most famous, biggest, smallest, all those kinds of books are going to be back here on this back wall. And then we move to the right side of the wall, and the right side of the wall has all the different animals. Maybe even some spider books. How many of you like spiders? Ooh, I don't like spiders. But you can see this first section has insects and spiders, all of them down here. And then below that is ocean animals, everything that lives in the ocean. So for example, there we have orb weavers. And can you tell the difference between a bee and a wasp? Those types of books are in this section. Well, moving on down, you have amphibians and reptiles. Here's a couple amphibian books, and I know you know reptiles are the snakes and everything else. So you can find those there. And then birds. And of course, we have all different kinds of birds in this section, but it seems to me that the most popular one that students want books on are penguins. So I pulled a penguins book here for you to see, but we have many more penguins books to read about all the different kinds of penguins and different kinds of birds. And then finally, and this is a pretty big section, the mammals. You can see it takes up all of the top shelf and the bottom shelf, and it's got all the mammals. There's all kinds of books in this area. I've pulled just a small sample of these books for you to see, but platypus, bats, naked mole rats, and then getting on to some of the bigger animals. And again, there are dozens and dozens of books in this area. So if you like science books, this is going to be your section, especially if you like animals. That's your whole right side. If you like the weather and the planets and dinosaurs and math, that's the whole left side. This section is really well marked. I think you're going to have a good time going through it, finding books you like, and of course, making sure that they are a good fit for you, because if you get a book and you can't read it, it doesn't really do you good to carry it around. Well, we've learned a lot of areas in the library so far. We've learned all the way now through the 500s. These are not things you have to memorize or learn. It's just a way to show you that we've grouped books by topic. So if you love science books, you now know where to go. If you love religion and mythology books, you've already learned where to go. If you like scary and paranormal, well, we learned that was the 100s. Languages, that's been a hot topic lately, the 400s. But this is just showing you general areas to go in the library to find what you want. I hope you have enjoyed learning about the 500s and find some good books today. Bye-bye, friends.